Go ahead. Action.
This is the instructions for taking the humorology test. Your sheet will look like this. What you do is you will take the humorology book, which will contain a minimum of 20 cartoons. It will be a mixture of, they will be all Far Side and half my original, or they will be all original cartoons. We're starting off with just Far Side cartoons. The way you take the test is you open and you'll see the first, after this you will see the first cartoon. Take a look at it, set your timer. And as soon as you see the cartoon, start the timer. And if you can catch on to the cartoon in 1 second, you will put an X here under 1. If it takes you 10 seconds to get the cartoon, put an X here. If it takes more than 10 seconds, go up to number 10 and put in 11, 12, up to 20 seconds. If you do not get the cartoon in 20 seconds, put a 0 right here. If you get the cartoon in 5 seconds, put an X in the 5 box. Move to stop your clock. After you've seen the cartoon, you get the joke, stop the clock. When you've marked your chart, go to cartoon number 2 and follow the same procedure. If it takes 1 second, put an X on 1, up to 10 seconds. Anything above 10, just write the number in. I didn't continue with 20 because most of the time, if people are going to get it, they get it within 10 seconds. When you get through, you will show a series of X's across. When you get through, you'll take all of your numbers. If the first one took a minimum amount of time of 10 cartoons in 10 seconds, that's 1, 1, 1, 1. If it takes you 20 seconds, then your maximum amount of time will be 200 seconds. If you use both sides and go 10 and 10, you'll have a total of 20 cartoons, and your total number goes at the end. If the cartoon book contains up to 100 cartoons, which is enough for 5 tests, each cartoon book, test book, will always have a minimum of 20 cartoons. And there right now is a total of 5 tests. You take book number 1, record your time, and so on until you have a total over here. That's your total amount of time you spent on these 10. Turn it over. Do the same thing. Get your total, put your times down for each one. If it's a miss, put a 0. At the end, you will have anywhere from 20 seconds to 200 seconds. After taking your first HQ test, that's testing your humor like you test your IQ. Intelligence quota, this is testing your humor. After taking the first test, ideal scene is in 3 days to take the test again. During those 3 days, spend a minimum of 1 hour in training, studying the science of humor and how humor works. At the end of 3 days, you'll take book number 2. It'll be 10 different cartoons, and you'll do the same thing. You will keep track of how long it takes you to cognate on each cartoon. Then wait 3 days before taking the test again. During those 3 days, I found the ideal time was 1 to 3 hours studying the science of humor before retaking the test. Now, when you've gone through all 5 books, I've seen the people score improve 10 times just with that minimal amount of training and amount of test taking. This chart is good for many as 100 different kind of tests dealing with your HQ on humor. Right now, all you worry about is this section and the total at the bottom. In the future, when we're doing other kinds of tests, you can put your score compared to theirs and many different tests. This is it. You take it, mark it, keep track of your score. After a total of 5 tests, you could see anywhere from a small change to some people have scores where their average time was over 10 seconds. Their misses would be 4 or 5 misses in a test, come down to cognating on cartoons in 2 and 3 seconds. The fastest I've seen on this is a nephew who was autistic, a bit of a savant. He was getting cartoons, each one in under a second. So his time would have been 20. I worked with others whose time when they got through was close to 200 seconds. Many more tests, many more same chart, many different tests, but this is where we start.